Welcome, traveler, to Power in Words. If you are here, it is not by accident. You are here because you feel, perhaps in the quietest, most vulnerable corners of your mind, that language is more than just communication. You know that words are architecture. They build realities, they frame our suffering, and they forge the keys that unlock our potential. This channel is a sanctuary for that belief. It is a place to gather the kind of energy that doesn't just shout, but that sustains. Today, we are going to sit with a sentence so simple it feels almost fragile, yet so profound it has the weight of mountains. It comes from the 14th Dalai Lama. Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. Let these words sink in, not as a command, but as an invitation. We are so often adrift in the turbulent waters of our own lives. We are buffeted by the headlines, by the abrasive encounter with a stranger, by the careless words of a loved one, by the relentless demands of a world that seems to prize efficiency over empathy. In this noise, our own inner voice becomes strained, and our first instinct becomes defense. We build walls. We mistake reactivity for strength. We believe in a deep and wounded part of our psychology that kindness is a luxury. It is a currency we can only spend when our own pockets are full, when we are well-rested, appreciated, and secure. And so we readily accept the first part of this quote, be kind whenever possible. Of course, we nod in agreement. We are not monsters. We will hold the door for the person behind us. We will smile at the barista. We will donate to the charity drive. This is the kindness of convenience. It is the kindness that costs us very little, the social lubricant that makes the day run smoothly. It is good, it is necessary, but it is not the part of the quote that will change your life. It is the second part, the quiet addendum that stops the heart, that challenges the very foundation of our excuses. It is always possible. This is where the spiritual teacher becomes the master psychologist. This is the phrase that gently but firmly removes every exit strategy our ego has ever built. It is a mirror held up to our justifications. What do we mean, really, when we say it is not possible to be kind? We mean we are tired. We mean we are stressed. We mean we are angry or hurt or feeling defensive. We mean most often that they did not deserve our kindness. They cut us off in traffic. They insulted our work. They hold beliefs we find abhorrent. They were, in short, not kind to us first. And so we feel not only permitted, but justified in our own harshness. We have, in our minds, been released from the obligation. But the Dalai Lama's wisdom reframes the entire equation. Kindness is not a transactional obligation based on the behavior of others. It is a statement about the character of the self. It is not a reward we bestow. It is a space we choose to inhabit. Let us walk into a moment, one we have all lived. Imagine you are driving, late for something that matters. Your mind is already at its destination, replaying a difficult conversation, planning the next move. Suddenly, a car sweeps in front of you from a side street, forcing you to slam on your brakes. Your heart leaps into your throat. The adrenaline rush is instant, electric, and it demands an outlet. The outlet is anger, the horn, a curse, a flash of rage that feels righteous. In this moment, kindness feels utterly impossible. It feels wrong. But what is truly happening? The driver in that other car is not your enemy. They are a story you cannot read. Perhaps they are also late. Perhaps they are distracted by a phone call from a hospital. Perhaps they are simply a bad driver. Their action is a data point. Our reaction is our biography. The rush of anger, the fight or flight response, is a relic of an ancient brain designed to protect us from physical threats. But in the modern world, this reaction is a cage. The impossibility of kindness is, in reality, the hijacking of our conscious mind by our reactive biology. It is always possible is a call to awaken from this hijacking. It is the supreme act of psychological freedom. It is the pause, the sacred space between stimulus and response, where our true power lies. In that second, after the car cuts you off and before you react, possibility exists. The possibility to take a breath. The possibility to see the situation not as a personal attack, but as a neutral, albeit dangerous, event. The possibility to choose a response that does not poison you. This kindness, this refusal to escalate, is not for the other driver. It is for you. It is the refusal to surrender your own peace of mind to the chaos of the world. It is the realization that anger is a fire that consumes the vessel in which it is stored. This is the shift from a psychological state of reactivity to one of responsibility. We are not a collection of instincts. We are architects of our choices. Let us take this deeper, into the territories that feel truly impossible. What about when we are not just inconvenienced, but deeply wounded? What about the colleague who takes credit for your work? The friend who betrays a confidence? The family member who, year after year, uses your vulnerabilities as weapons in a holiday argument? Here, the call to kindness can feel like an invitation to be a doormat. It can feel like an invalidation of our own pain. This is the most profound misunderstanding of what kindness is. Kindness is not weakness. It is not the absence of boundaries. It is not smiling sweetly while allowing yourself to be destroyed. That is not kindness. That is self-abandonment. The ultimate kindness, the one that is always possible, is rooted in a different kind of strength. When you have been betrayed, kindness is not inviting the betrayer back into your life unchanged. Kindness is setting a boundary clearly, firmly, and without malice. Kindness is speaking your truth without needing to simultaneously tear the other person down. It is the difference between saying you are a toxic, worthless person and saying, what you did broke my trust and I can no longer have this relationship in my life. The first is a venomous reaction. The second is a clean, kind, and powerful truth. One perpetuates a war, the other ends it. Kindness in these moments is also for yourself. It is the kindness of allowing yourself to feel the full spectrum of your pain, the anger, the grief, the sorrow, without judging yourself for it. It is the kindness of not internalizing the cruelty of others. We believe, when someone is cruel, that we must have done something to deserve it. The kindest possible act is to recognize that their cruelty is a map of their own inner world, not a reflection of your worth. This, perhaps, is the most psychological part of the journey. We are all walking bundles of unmet needs, past traumas, and profound insecurities. When a person acts with cruelty, they are often screaming their own pain into the world. The boss who micromanages with aggression is often drowning in a sea of their own inadequacy. The online troll who spews hatred is often profoundly isolated, seeking any form of impact, any proof that they exist. Their behavior is not an excuse. It must be met with boundaries. But a kind heart understands that it is not and has never been about you. This understanding is a superpower. It is a key that unlocks you from the prison of resentment. You no longer have to carry their poison. You can see the story, and in seeing it, you are set free. This is the kindness that is always possible, the kindness of profound, compassionate understanding. It is a state of clarity. Think of kindness not as a series of actions, but as a form of light. A lighthouse does not race all over the coastline, pulling ships from the rocks. It does not judge the ships. It does not care if they are merchant vessels, pirates, or tiny fishing boats. It simply stands, anchored to its foundation, and it shines. It is a beacon. Its light is a non-negotiable, steady fact. This is the kindness that is always possible. It is an internal state that you cultivate, an unwavering light that you emanate, regardless of the storms raging around you. It becomes the weather system you create rather than the one you are subjected to. How do we begin to cultivate this? We are human. We are flawed. We will fail. We will yell at the driver. We will be petty. We will feel the sting of resentment, and we will act on it. The journey begins with the one person we forget to include in our circle of compassion, ourselves. The most difficult whenever is whenever I have failed, when you are the one who was unkind, when you look in the mirror and are consumed with shame or self-loathing. In that moment, can you be kind? Can you look at your own failure, your own darkness, and not turn away in disgust? This is the root. All kindness to others is an extension of the kindness we are first able to show ourselves. If you believe you are fundamentally unworthy, your kindness to others will always be a performance, a transaction, a way to earn the love you cannot give yourself. But if you can practice kindness on your own flawed, imperfect, beautiful self, then the always possible becomes a reality. You will see the flawed, imperfect, beautiful humanity in everyone else. The other ceases to be an enemy and becomes simply another version of you, fighting a hard battle you know nothing about. This is the power in the words. They are not a platitude. They are a practice, a lifetime practice. It is the practice of seeing kindness not as a finite resource you distribute, but as the very air you breathe. It is the practice of softening your gaze instead of hardening your heart. It is the difficult, courageous, and transformative work of choosing again and again to access the best part of yourself, especially when the world is showing you its worst. It is the work of building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes, until what once felt impossible becomes simply who you are. For more journeys into the heart of what moves us, like this video and subscribe to Power in Words, where every word is a bridge back to ourselves.